Welcome, drone video fans, and this is a video on Hidden Valley Park, located in South Madison in Lake County, Ohio. We're going to show the highlights of the park in this video. There's a bridge, a picture of the bridge that you cross over to get here. That bridge was constructed in 1893 by a contractor out of Cleveland. I wanted to show some of the highlights of the park here, and definitely one of the highlights of the park are the stunning shale cliffs that are probably over 100 feet tall. We're just sort of panning our way along here. The thing that struck me about these shale cliffs, besides their height and how attractive they are, is that even in this inhospitable area for growth, you'll notice that there's trees and shrubs and so on, different kinds of vegetation that has found purchase and is able to grow in cracks and so on in this side of this sheer cliff. The cliff, as I said, is over 100 feet tall. We kind of go up here to the top, and if you look, you'll see vertical erosion lines running down the side faces of the cliff, caused by when it rains, the water just torrents over the side of this cliff and runs down towards the Grand River, which is right below this the facade of this cliff. So we're kind of dropping down here again and seeing a lot of the vegetation. You can see stratified layers of sedimentation in the shale, which kind of blew apart my theory that this cliff was cut during the last ice age of it was 25,000 years ago, because it would have left it in pretty much one solid sheet. But you can see that there's several layers on top of layers visible as we pan down here. We're getting down close to the to ground level, river level, which is probably I would estimate around 600 feet above sea level at this point. And we're just going to move a little bit here to the west, to the left here, and reascend the cliff and give you another little shot of the sheer height and the number of things that are growing into the cracks and crevices of this shale cliff. As we climb again, you're going to see the different layers and stratification of the shale. We're going to go completely all the way to the top here and get a look over the top of this shale cliff out to the north. We are facing north now, and as we ascend and go over the top of these trees, in the far distance you'll be able to see Lake Erie when we get high enough. And as we clear the trees now, and we can see some clouds there in the sky, to the left of the hand side of the picture, as we ascend, you will see the twin cooling towers of the Perry nuclear power plant. Only one of the units is actually in service. And on the right hand side of the picture, you'll see a mammoth cell tower way off in the distance. But this is a cool shot. You can see Lake Erie definitely in the background. We've dropped back down now to almost say about 10 feet above the Grand River, and we're just going to kind of cruise along the shore here with the camera pointing at the cliff face and taking in some of the trees and vegetation that's lining the Grand River. We're going to do a secondary or a second video, because I did shoot quite a bit of video on when I was out here, and that video will be completely on the Grand River itself, covering almost 4,000 feet of it. But as we move along here, you can see, there's areas here that are completely covered with grass. I'm almost envious because that lush green grass looks better than my front lawn currently does. But there's lots of water here to feed it. There's actually a little pond there. It's probably a depression that's below groundwater level, so it just fills itself from the Grand River. As we continue downstream to the west, you can see that there are some trees which have fallen over. The reason that the river itself doesn't have any of those trees in them is because several times during the year this river runs very fast with melt water or rainwater, and so even trees that fall down, they get kind of cleared out from the rushing water. And once we decided we saw enough of that, we turned around and went back towards where I had taken off, and we're going to head into the park now. We're going south, headed in a southerly direction, and we're going to climb up a little bit in altitude so that we can pan over here and see some of the wildflowers that are growing along the side. I'm not really all that great with flowers. I'm not sure what the name of those purple ones are, but there is some variety of foxtail that you can see there right in front of you. And then the yellow flowers with the black centers, I believe those are what they call black-eyed Susans. At least that was the definition when I looked it up on the internet. I was trying to get the correct names for all of these flowers that you're seeing here. In addition to the flowers that you see here along the west side of the park itself has a lot of walnut trees, which you're going to see when we get to taking a look at the picnic area itself. But just wanted to show some of these really nice flowers. Of course, I'm sure they don't encourage you to come in here and pick anything like that. So after a look at the flowers here, we're going to take a little cruise towards the picnic area, and you can see a picnic table there with a grill and the garbage container, and you'll see little yellow balls on the ground. Those are the seed pods of the walnut trees, which are all around in the park. Coming up on the pavilion area, and that pavilion can be reserved by anyone who wants to with just a simple phone call, and you can hold a party there, and any kind of party that you want. No alcohol, I believe. This is a nice section of the park that I really enjoy. It's a sloping rise to the south. You can see some gentle stairs on the left-hand side. Those stairs are very shallow and they're easily climbed. In the wintertime, when this hill is covered with snow, kids flock to this area and they climb up those steps, and then they go skidding down on whatever kind of snow unit that they have, whether it's a sled or an inner tube or whatever. But you see in the background there are park benches. Those park benches are always in the shade. It's always nice and cool back there, and they look down the hill towards the rest of the park. So it's a real peaceful place to come and read a book or just relax, chill out, or whatever. On the west side of the hilly area here, you see the steps which lead back down to the playground area and the rest of the park, and we're getting a shot of that here shortly. Now we're kind of zooming in on the playground area, which has this jungle gym set. I guess that's what they're called, and the area surrounding it is, of course, filled with sand and soft soil there, so that the urchins that are playing on the set, should they fall, they won't get hurt. There's a couple of park benches there for the mothers. I've been here enough times to see moms drop their kids off to play on the playground set there, and then they talk on their cell phones or read a book or whatever. And then you can see the swing area in the back. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have any big adult-sized swings, because I was always a terror on swings myself. I always was striving to do that loop where you get going fast enough and go over the top. I guess in actuality it's physically impossible, but I would always try. We're just climbing up here and going to get a little vertical shot of the playground area, and you can see that there's lots of paved roadways and walkways that go to these different features of the park. Now we're going to take another quick look at the pavilion area, and again, this is easily reserved by making a phone call. There's a phone number that you call, and you can, they have birthday parties, graduation parties, bridal showers, whatever, and you can see that it's well laid out. There is electricity available, and they have the fire grill pits there, along with plenty of places to put trash, which are guarded with and held up to make sure that raccoons and different things that live in the area don't get into the trash. And the park staff does come out and clean up every Monday, because usually the weekends is the time when these are most often used. Here we're taking a quick look, and if you want to stop the video and pause and read that information, go ahead, and it tells about the Grand River in this particular area. What pictorial or video guide would be complete without a shot of the facilities which they have available, and this is a unisex facility in line with current thinking of the day. There's a parking lot, a huge parking lot's all paved. Gives you easy access. All the paths are paved leading to the various areas, so it makes it quite enjoyable to come down, and you have very easy access. Here we're back flying, and we're getting ready to land. Hope you enjoyed this little video expose of Hidden Valley Park in South Madison, Ohio, and hope you come back and catch the next video, which will be showing the Grand River in this area. Thanks for watching. Come back soon.